Welcome back to The Color of Success, the Black Academic Experience, where we aim to raise awareness to the unique challenges and opportunities faced by Black students in higher education. I'm Brianna, and I'm joined by my co-host, Mari Tito.
Hey, y'all.
And today we have not one, but two very special guests. I would like to welcome my friend and her sister, Ray, Doctors Walker and Shearn. Thank you so much for coming to our show today.
Thanks for having us. Very excited to be here with you all.
And nervous.
Don't be nervous. We're excited to have you. So to start, can you first just introduce yourselves? Tell us who you are.
Sure. I'm Dr. Gabby Walker, currently a research associate at a research consulting firm. My background's in nursing. I graduated from Duke University with my PhD in 2020. And before that, I did my bachelor's and master's of nursing at WSSU, where I met Bree. And I'll pass it to my sister.
So, my name is Dr. Regine Shearn.
Yes.
I'm a licensed pharmacist, a wife, mother of a 2-year-old daughter. I'm a pharmacy manager at Harris Teeter Pharmacy. I got my doctor of pharmacy from Campbell University, graduated in 2021. And prior to that, I graduated from North Carolina A&T with my bachelor's in science and biology from North Carolina A&T.
Nice. So are you both originally from North Carolina?
Yes, a small town called Madison.
Oh.
Very rural.
Right outside of Greensboro.
Coming from that small town, what made y'all go through grad school? Like, what was the reasoning behind it?
Because Michael and Wanda Harris said, y'all need to do something and get out of Madison because there's nothing there. Like, us actually going to undergrad was like a big deal because not a lot of the minority students really, after high school, did anything other than just get like a everyday job. So, yeah, we did not want to fall into that trap.
Yeah, for sure. And I think we both, I can speak for myself. I chose the HBCU specifically because I was very much so the token in my school, like in the AP classes, one of very few Black students. So really wanted to be more immersed with my people and just get the Black experience, which I'm so grateful and thankful that I did now that I'm in the real world.
Mm-hmm.
And so, Gabby, you talked about going to an HBCU for your undergrad, but Duke is by no means an HBCU. So what was that change like?
It was a culture shock. Like, I really didn't know how good I had it at Winston to just be surrounded by so many Black people for one, but just like the consistent support, not only from my friends and my peers, but also having a lot of different professors who looked like me and were actually invested in me, and I felt that investment. So going from that to having to seek out Black spaces and find other Black voices or peers was very different.
Yeah, when I left from A&T and went to Campbell, oh my goodness, I know the movie Black Panther came out. I was like, see, this is what Wakanda was based on, HBCUs.
Oh yes, a place full of Black people. Excellent. You guys both have two very different degrees. Can y'all just tell me a little bit about, like, what does the schooling look like for your PharmD and for your doctoral degree in nursing? What did it look like how many years of school were you in?
Yeah, so for me, to get a PhD in nursing, you can go from undergrad directly to a doctorate program, but I went through a master's first. And kind of how I got there was just like, I feel like right place, right time. Like, I did a research fellowship because I had a friend who suggested like I should get some, free money over the summer. So I did that, and that turned into doing more research, doing like a research presentation, and being selected for a bridge program, which basically is on top of their master's degree, you do a thesis, and you can also have like support to help you bridge into a doctorate program. And so that's what I did with WSSU and Duke. And it really helped me kind of seamlessly transition from that master's level to doctorate level. So I did 6 years of like undergrad and master's, and then 5 years of PhD, and I went straight through. And I also took 2 licensing exams to be a registered nurse and then a nurse practitioner, but I didn't practice because I really was more interested in the research side of nursing. So a lot of people would probably put their nose up at not practicing at all, but it worked for me.
So for pharmacy, you can also go from undergrad to your doctoral program, but you don't necessarily have to get a bachelor's degree. So you can do just the 2 years it would take to get the prerequisite classes for the doctoral program and go straight into it. Because it used to be just a bachelor's degree to become a pharmacist, and then I think in maybe the 90s or so, 80s or 90s, it became a doctoral program. So I ended up getting my bachelor's because I didn't initially know that I wanted to do pharmacy, and it was kind of a safety net too, because if you just do the prerequisites for pharmacy school and you apply, you don't get in, you're kind of stuck because you're not really on a track to graduate with any set degree. You just took classes essentially. So got my bachelor's in biology. I initially was going to get my PhD in molecular biology, but because I worked in a kidney research lab all through my entire undergraduate career, but I did an internship at Chapel Hill my junior year, going to my senior year, that really gave me a picture of what an everyday life would be if I were to pursue that. And I was like, I cannot do this. So I tried to like re-strategize what other careers I was interested in and landed on pharmacy. And so I applied and I waitlisted for Campbell, which was my number one choice. And they didn't let me know I got in until June, I think, and I was supposed to start classes in August. I'm just like, I don't have anywhere to live, like no financial anything set up, so they allowed me to defer a year in which I just worked full-time in a pharmacy to get that experience preparing to start the next year for pharmacy school.
And how did you choose Campbell and Duke? Like what went into those decisions? What did you consider?
For me, I did want to go to an HBCU again for grad school, but when I actually looked at the programs and got to tour, the professors, like the people involved in the program at Campbell, are what really got me to choose them, which I was surprised by. But yeah, it's solely really that, because they're a private school, so I definitely prefer a public for those loans, but then I would have to be with these people all day, every day. So it's like, that is what essentially made me choose them.
And for me, like I said, there was a bridge program. So that was one school I applied to, but there was others I applied to, like UNC, I think, and Johns Hopkins. But ultimately I had connections at Duke already, and it was a fully funded program. So I had no debt to that point, and I was not trying to pick up any more. So that really swayed me.
Gabby, you said you were part of this bridge program between your undergraduate and master's university and Duke. As a result, was there any more Black people, being that the bridge program was in partnership with an HBCU?
Yes, so in my bridge, cohort, there was about 4 of us. Yes, and 3 of us decided to continue on to the doctorate level, but oddly only 2 of us got in at Duke. And so it was us 2 from the bridge program, and then there were 2 other Black women in my program. I think at that point it was the most Black people in one cohort at Duke's nursing school PhD class.
4 people, you said?
4 Black women, yeah. And it was a pretty diverse. Like we had also some Asian students and some other type of ethnicities and just identities. So I enjoyed my cohort really. That was really nice. But
So just for context, it's 4 Black women out of how many?
I think our cohort had like 8 or 9 people in it total. So it's pretty small.
Mine was not that well balanced. Campbell, I think my class, we had 104 by the time we ended. We might start with like 117. And out of that number, 13 of us were Black, which I had a friend who was a year ahead of me, and she was like, wow, you guys have so many Black people in your class. I was like, wow, okay. So it was 13 of us. There were maybe like 5 Asian, 1 Indian guy, and there were no Hispanics in all 4 years. Like there were none.
Yeah, coming from A&T, that must have been tough.
But it was, we came together. We had our little get-togethers and, you know, support systems, and so yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
So thinking about that, like, you know, you talk about the having get-togethers, but in what ways did you feel like you belonged, Regine?
Some of my classmates kind of helped me just look at them like, yes, I deserve to be here because you are acting so stupid. They're just like, how did you get in? So they like watching some of my classmates just act the way they do. It's just like, that was a reassurance. And then just, I'm not, I guess, easily put down. That kind of makes me actually want to show you, like, you can't do something. Well, okay, watch. So I think, yeah, just having I think that was instilled in me from my village that raised me too. So just going through that, and then going to HBCU where they really, you know, let you know your worth in the world. I think just carrying all those things with me. And then just like the people in my class that, you know, we support each other. One of my best friends, like, I made there, even though haven't been friends longer than some of my friends I came to Campbell with. Like, she's probably the closest person to me now.
Yeah, and I think, like Ray said, just having my friends and family affirm me, and the mentors I had always saying, like, reassuring me that I'm where I'm supposed to be. But definitely imposter syndrome was something I dealt with, and probably still deal with. So, but yeah, the village and my mentors and my peers definitely helped.
Speaking of imposter syndrome, Gabby, like, how did you navigate that? I guess let's start throughout your graduate program.
I navigate that just pushing forward, like trusting and believing in myself, and in those moments, like, okay, like kind of a reality check, like, no, you are supposed to be here, like, these are good ideas, like, you know what you're talking about. Everyone, like, you're the only one saying that you're not supposed to be here. No one's actually coming up into you and saying that to you. So kind of like checking myself in those moments, and just remembering that I wouldn't be here if I wasn't qualified.
And what was it like, because the years that you guys were in grad school together, what was it like having each other going through the program? I see Ray shaking her head.
Well, we said the times that we were in grad school, I was during Trump's reign of terror. I was at a private Christian school
in the South,
in the sundown town. Like, yeah, it was.
Yikes, cringy.
But I mean, I've always looked up to Gabrielle. Like, she kills it. Like, she's always at the top of her class. I think when she's at Winston, her master program, she won like one person of everybody gets the award. She got it. Like, she is super smart, and it just seems like, I don't know. She is. I know it's not easy for her, but she makes it look easy. So I'm like, okay, well, I can do it. You know, we share the same blood, so
I have some of this greatness in me.
Right, it's somewhere.
But yeah, I think it was nice, like, having Ray understand, like, because our parents don't know what we're talking about. They just know we're getting this degree that is long at the end. We'll have doctor, you know, behind our names, or in front of our names or whatever. But, like, Ray understanding, like, we can talk, and it's like a medical field too, so we can talk about some of the same things. Like, she understands drugs and, like, pathology and stuff like that. So it was really nice, and having her close-ish. So it was just nice to be kind of going through similar experiences and being able to lean on each other.
Gabby, you said that nobody in your family really understands what you guys had gone through in your doctoral programs. Are you guys the first people are you guys the only people, I guess, in your immediate family that have doctoral programs?
Our dad has a EDD. So, but like when his was on all online, so, and he got it so much later in his life.
I think we were in high school.
Yeah. And so we kind of didn't see, like, we knew what he was doing, but we didn't see the work, you know, like, or understood how much work he was putting into that on top of working a full-time job and, you know, having us knuckleheads. So,
and he didn't understand, you know, an online class and really don't understand technology.
Yeah, so so he kind of was familiar with, like, you know, the process is like a dissertation and stuff, but beyond that, no. But it was nice that he did have that, because, like, I think we mentioned we did, like, our graduation ceremony together since we both graduated during COVID. And so our dad was able to hood us. That was really nice experience to have together with the family, like, kind of have our own personal graduation. So, but I don't think they also understood, or, like, we didn't share everything we were experiencing at school either. So that was more between us.
Why didn't you share with them?
So I would say my mom, I wouldn't say, hold on. So she is one to, if you're angry, she's going to be angry with you, but not help find a solution. So she would be, I'm going to write a letter to so, but not really help us navigate necessarily. But my dad, he used to be a guidance counselor, so he would hear us and think that he understands regardless of what we're saying. Like, he's the expert on everything, whether he's been through it or not. Whatever we said, he knows more. And this is how you handle it.
Yeah.
But that doesn't necessarily apply, because it's like, that's not what I said. But
right. I think he's just, like, really solution oriented, and that's not always what we were needing or wanting. And yeah, we're not trying to have them jump in either. Like, we're adults now. We're trying to handle stuff as such. So I think that was another reason why we may not have shared everything.
So what are some of those things? I mean, those that you can't talk about, you know? I think part of the program is also, you know, for people thinking about going to grad school to know what to expect, right?
I mean, in general, a doctorate is hard. Like, besides the classwork and whatever you have to do for your dissertation, just the twist and turn, nothing ever goes as planned. It ends up taking longer than it's usually supposed to. And I think also just being in a white space, there's microaggressions. Like, I was constantly calling my classmate's name, like, and I was there 3-4 years later, like, you still don't know who I am, like, I'm just the black girl. So stuff like that. And yeah, I just think those things can just feel heavy. And on top of, like, we talked about imposter syndrome and Trump and all these things that are going on, and, like, the context was just, you're getting yourself into a lot, I guess, just to say that.
Yeah. So I would agree with all of those things. And then, especially the microaggressions, and, like, for example, I would have a teacher who, in all of our, like, patient-based scenarios, like, the black person would always be sick with diabetes and previous cocaine user, whatever, and the white person's healthy, 35-year-old, well, like, okay. Or it was just like the black patient's name was Keisha, or it was one that was crazy. It was like Quante, it was something ridiculous. Okay, but just like little stuff like that. Just it's like it's a professional program, so it's like the people that are your professors and that are part of the program, like they are also going to be the ones that are helping you get jobs. He's like, you want to not necessarily let them walk over you, but you don't want to ruin the relationship either, because you kind of do need them to a degree. So it's just kind of fighting if you are more of a off-offer like me, like fighting certain situations of handling that. So
yeah, you raised such an important point about the ways that our programs sort of depict, right, like Black people and sometimes having to bear witness to that,
and how that influences you guys, like people in the classroom. Especially in those contexts, like there's a lot of repercussions for things like that. But y'all both kind of touched on this importance of finding these Black spaces, whether it was Ray, you and your friend that you grew really close with, and Gabby talked about some Black spaces. So how did you go about, Gabby, finding Black spaces in a very large PWI?
Yeah, I just knew that the nursing program at Duke is pretty small, which means there's not a lot of Black people in the doctorate program at all. So I knew I just wanted to be more exposed to everything else Duke or other students across Duke. So there was a Black student, the GIPSA, Black Graduate Students Professional, some organization. And they have like a Mary Lou Williams Center, which is a Black space focused on like Black events and different things like that. So I joined that group and participated in some of their meetings and met more Black students across the university. So that was nice to just see other people that weren't in the program, see what their experiences were and how they were navigating that. And yeah, I'm just really glad I was able to find that space. Because either was going home in school, so having some other outlets was nice while I was at Duke.
I'm not as social, so I didn't necessarily seek to be a part of anything more than I had to be for that program. But luckily when I went to Campbell, my roommate was a girl that I met while we were in Greensboro, because she went to UNCG and I went to A&T. We met each other, found out we both applied to Campbell, and later found out we got in, but I deferred a year, so that's how she ended up a year ahead of me. But we ended up being roommates for 2 years when I came, and then she moved our third year because she was in residency, not residency, her rotations, and I was still at campus. But she introduced me to a lot of the people, because she's very active in different organizations, and that was one, I guess, entrance to the group. And then in my class, like the first day, one of my friends is an Asian girl. We sat beside each other and just, started talking and became friends. We were known to be together like all the time, every day. And then I would say my other closest friend I met within the Black get-together, I guess, group, which was composed of all the years, so because it wasn't that many of us. So everybody would meet at somebody's apartment or go downtown to like the one bar that they had in the town. But yeah, play games and music and all that. So I met her in that space, and it's funny because they're total opposites. Like my friend Kezia, she's a Black girl. She's just exposed me to things that I guess I never would have experienced or learned about because I am a little more like in my own bubble. But then she also went through a lot. Like her mom died our third year, so our last didactic year, the day of our final exam. So it was like a lot that she was going through, but just to watch her, like she's definitely probably the smartest person in our class. Like she...
And it's time for our ad break. Thanks so much for listening. We'll be right back. Are you registered to vote? Do you think you're registered, but want a quick way to double check? From your local school board rep to your senator to the next president of the United States, it's important to vote in every election. Count Us In, centered in Indiana, is here to help make sure your voice is heard. Count Us In also provides resources to help cover voter ID costs, voter education materials, and walk you through what you need to vote by mail or absentee. Visit countusindiana.org to register to vote or simply check your voter registration status in any state. Again, that's countusindiana.org. Your voice matters. Are you a therapist of color struggling to find your place in the mental health world? Sparkle Healing LLC has got you covered. Located in the DC metropolitan area, they focus on helping the helper. Discover their exclusive therapy services designed for therapists and other helping professionals to thrive. Immerse yourself in a supportive community, elevate your practice with expert consulting and supervision, and don't miss their rejuvenating wellness retreats, crafted to replenish your mind and spirit. Sparkle Healing LLC, where therapists find solace, community, and professional growth. Visit them today at www.sparklehealing.com. Tune in to a brighter future.
Welcome back to the Color of Success, the Black academic experience.
It's awesome. And then the Asian girl, Dejong, she's like so sweet and, you know, not necessarily, I want to say innocent like a kid, but she's just so, you know, kind of innocent. And just always so kind and willing to just do anything for anyone, which it makes me mad because, you know, some people will take advantage of that, especially when English is not necessarily a perfected language for her. So it's just interesting, the dynamics between the minorities with the friends that I made. So.
And Shay, you said something about being in a sunset town, and, you know, I don't know if everyone who listens really understands what that is. So can you just, you know, first of all, tell us what a sundown town is, but also, you know, what did that look like?
Yes. Bowie's Creek is the name of the town that Campbell's located in. It's the bigger town that it's within is Lillington, but essentially that just means after a certain time, if you're Black, you out is not the safest thing to be going on, which I was aware of when I moved down there. Like, I purchased my first firearm before I moved because, like, I was scared. Like, I didn't know what I might encounter, so that was definitely something I was nervous about. And even like throughout the time living on campus, like
in 2017, just so people understand, like,
right.
We're not talking about 50 years ago.
yes. So yeah, that was here.
Yeah, and it was like, it was the era of Trump, but then also be in school when this whole racial reckoning occurred, and seeing how the school reacted to that was also interesting. There was all these, you know, powwows and let's all talk and hear about the Black people's experiences, and I think my program sent me like a goodie bag or something, you know, like with candy and stuff in a card. And
You're kidding.
Yeah, like, and I understand their intention, but it was like, you know, never
for 400
had I ever,
years of slavery. Here's a goodie bag.
Never had I ever, and it was like, I think someone asked me, you know, like how I'm feeling. I'm like, this is every day for us. Like, this is nothing new. Like, we felt this, we've seen this, and now it's just like all this attention on it. So this is a weird feeling, and it's very like, what is happening type thing. But
surreal.
Yeah, never seen that before.
God.
Yeah,
and
very
performative,
surreal.
right? Like, why do you have to show that you care about me?
Because it's never before had, you know, that type of attention been, you know, or like offered to me or given to me in any other circumstance.
That is wild.
Yeah, it's a little crazy. You mentioned that they sent you a goodie bag. That just had me thinking about, like, what is your faculty? Like, did you guys have the opportunity to be mentored by any faculty that looked like you at your institutions?
Yes. So at mine, by the time I graduated, there was like mainly 2 faculty that were actually teaching the program, and all the Black students like flocked to them, like, please mentor me. Not only because they look like us, but they also were interested in stuff like social determinants of health and health equity, and no one else is really focused on that in our school. to that degree. So luckily I was able to have some mentors and still have those connections where, you know, they can give me advice and in terms of career paths, and also it was clear they cared about me on a personal level, like, you know, took us out to eat for Christmas parties and things like that. And so I was very appreciative of that, but it's still, I feel like it took a while just to have that type of representation in my program at that level, because even when they were teaching, it was maybe one class or they were co-teaching a class. Like, it took them a while to kind of get ramped up and be on their own. And maybe that's just how it goes and where they were in their career. But yeah, it was just an interesting observation.
Yeah, I guess our program is not as, our professors teach all the years. It's like all day long, so it's not necessarily that anybody would be going out with their mentor professor outside of class or hours that they're providing. But I had one Black professor, Dr. Foster, he's an African professor, and he doesn't always, you know, make sure to speak to me and, you know, ask how things were going, or if I had any questions about like anything I was interested in or needed a connection. Like, he made an effort, because I think he saw just like the environment and, like, you know, if you do need something. So yeah.
You know, I will say my primary mentor was a white woman, but she was very aware and like always encouraging, like, oh, have you talked to this person or that person, like trying to connect me with more people who looked like me, so that I had that type of guidance as well. I think she recognized like my path was not going to necessarily look like hers, so it would be good for me to have those perspectives as well.
And are there any supports that you wish you had, looking back on that experience?
I don't know that any more support would have, I guess, changed just what I was experiencing. I feel like I handled it well, you know, got through it well, learned some things. But yeah, I don't know that I felt a lack of support other than just my program not being as, I don't know,
diverse, representative.
Or I guess like when things that were not supportive of the minority people in our class would occur, like they didn't really address it. They just kind of just, you know, keep business as usual, you know. So I think that would be the only other support that should have been there.
Yeah, I think that's a good point, because I mean, in my program, the professors have been there like years, like from the inception. It's like 15, 20 years. It's the same people in the same position. So I think if there just had been fresher perspectives, maybe it would have been a little different. Like, it wouldn't, not that it didn't feel like it was diverse, like in terms of, you know, appearance, but having more of that, like, actual and practice, like in terms of topics discussed, like related to equity, or more professors actually doing the type of work that we didn't have to always leave the school. So maybe that in that regard, that type of support. But I think besides that, yeah, my experience, yeah, has been fine.
How has your identity as like Black women, or however you guys identify, like helped you professionally or throughout grad school?
Helped?
Yeah.
I love that question. Like, what?
Oh man, I could give you hurt. I don't know. Help.
I think the strength of the Black woman, like just seeing those examples, knowing what we can do and overcome, I think that in itself is a strength that to our like perseverance, like pushing through the challenges and the setbacks and just the ups and downs of the experience. I think that is one strength of being a Black woman that has helped me.
Yeah, I would just say at making it was the only thing that help, like you said, to encourage others, because I am hard for us to think of how it helped going through the program.
Or what about now? Like, I feel like
That was it now.
is that one we can speak to?
Yeah.
Sure.
Wow.
So, okay.
Yeah.
So at my pharmacy, I have a lot of older Black patients that will only want, well, now we have, my staff pharmacist is a Black girl. We're both in our 20s, so that's cool. But before, when I first started there, my other pharmacist was a white lady. And so a lot of the older Black people, only want to talk to me, or like feel comfortable asking questions about medications they could have been on for years and just never, thought to talk to the pharmacist, or, feel like they can confide in them. So that is really cool. And I make sure I take time to listen to them, because I'm sure that the reason they're just now doing it is because nobody had before. And so I really take pride in that. Also, because I am a younger Black pharmacist, some of the, because we're right by NC State where my pharmacy is, and some of the younger kids were like, oh, are you the pharmacist? Like, wow, that's cool. So, just seeing people, it seems like they're proud of, me being in the position. Yeah, especially now that I'm the manager, they're just like, what? I want to speak to the manager. Like, that's me.
Yes, girl.
I definitely agree. During my postdoc, I did some teaching to medical students, and there was one Black girl. She was just really hyping me up. Oh wow, I've never seen a Black professor. Look as stylish, and look at you. It's oh, you're in equity. I'd love to work with you. And so that was just wow. That part was what I loved about academia, was that mentorship and just being able to be seen and help people feel like they're seen. And so that part, if that was all academia was, I would have stayed there forever, but it's not. So
what else is it?
It's just pressure. I feel like there's this rat race to get grants and funding and hit these benchmarks to get tenure, and then it's also more all white spaces, and dealing with that, and people who've been there again for years and years and years, and have these set perspectives.
Tell me about it, Gabby.
So from the moment I started pursuing a doctorate, I knew I wanted to be more in an industry type role where it's just about the research. There are none of these teaching requirements, there's none of these grant requirements or this service requirement. It's just I do my work from 9 to 5, and then that's it. I don't have to do these long, constant, never-ending hours. So
yeah, but it's just so sad on the other hand too, because Black students need Black mentors. Exactly. But I definitely see where you're coming from. I was in a chat today, and I was telling them I don't feel like academia is a safe space for Black women, so they're gonna have to do something else to keep us there. But I hear you.
I wouldn't be here if I wasn't for mentors who just saw something in me. I didn't even know research was a thing when I first started pursuing my nursing degree, so I really understand the importance of mentorship. But like you said, there has to be more to keep us there.
Things have to change, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
And what was the postdoc experience like, Gabby?
So I started in 2021 remotely. So it was virtual most of the time. So I will say it was kind of lonely. I started with one person, but he quickly left within a few months to become assistant professor. So just kind of it was at a different university. So understanding the structure, the processes, the resources, who does what, that took a while to just get acclimated to. And then, like I said, being remote was a challenge. I was the only postdoc, but I was in a really supported space. I had a great mentor, great team. It was just different, but I appreciate the experience. I don't think I would probably be in my current role without that type of community engagement and health equity type work, and just understanding that type of knowledge I wouldn't have been able to get anywhere else. So I'm glad I did it. At first, I was definitely trying to do everything but a postdoc.
but you made it, girl. You made it.
Yeah. I still ended up doing one, and it worked out.
Yeah. So as we I guess close up, thinking about everything that you know now, what advice would you give to people like you or similar to you thinking of going into grad school?
Definitely find your tribe, whether that's, in your life, definitely, but also within those spaces as much as you can. Just find other people who similar interests, just someone who, at least one person who you know will really be there for you, have your back. Great mentors are important too. Don't just settle because someone assigned you a person. Really seek someone who is not only trying to pour into you academically, but also sees you as a person and wants you to have that balance, because I think that's really important during the doctorate program, because you're juggling so much and you need to be seen both as a student but also as a person with an outside life. So that's what comes to mind first. But
yeah, definitely find someone, I would say, in the program that you can connect with, because although you may have support of your friends and family, they're not in the program. So if you have someone who's studying the same things you are, they're the same hours, going through the same experiences, it makes a big difference and lets you know where you're kind of in it together with someone, even though you're on your individual journeys. So definitely that. Also, do not do it while pregnant, because my God, if you can help it, do it outside of that, because that's a lot.
I was going to say, Ray, I think we got a couple minutes to spare. Tell us more.
So I found out I was pregnant with my first and only child. So I started my last year in August. I found out in September that I was pregnant. My whole last year of my rotations, I was somewhere every month different, which I had a great pregnancy, but if I was tired, I was just tired and still having to do what I have to do. But then I think my final rotation was in Charlotte, and I lived in Fayetteville at the time, so it's almost 3 hours away. And so I was, driving back and forth to doctor's appointments during the week, because at that point I was due in May, and that rotation was April. So it was an appointment every week. And my husband, he was, going back and forth because he started to work. He was at Fort Bragg. He was in the military at the time, and still trying to check on me. So it was a lot. And then once I graduated, I was studying the 3 months that I took for maternity leave. I was doing that plus studying for my license exam. So it was stressful, but it happened. Actually, well, it was even more stressful because for become a pharmacist, you have a national exam, license exam, and then a state exam that's specific, to the state. And so I took my license exam, thought I did well, got told I failed. I was like, okay, well, I gotta put this to the side, focus on my law exam. I think it was the night that I took the law exam, got an email from the National Board of Pharmacy that they made a mistake and I actually passed my license exam. So that was just excitement and anger and all in one. And fast forward to, I lost the job that was being held for me until I got licensed. But fast forward to now, got the opportunity to be a part of the lawsuit related to that. But I don't know that I will be a part of it, only because even though I was mad at the time, it was definitely a blessing in disguise, because it put me and my husband moving to Raleigh, which is what our goal was anyway, because we didn't have any family in Fayetteville, and we ultimately wanted to be in Raleigh because my husband's from Raleigh, and it put me in a better position. And now I'm a pharmacy manager. We have support, with our daughter, so I feel like it would not be right to be a part of a lawsuit now. But at the time, I probably would have.
I think that just shows if the journey can feel really bad and feel like you're not going where you're supposed to go, but in actuality, that's exactly the path you're supposed to take and to get to where you're supposed to be. So just to bring that, full circle.
Give a little snap. great. Like, I'm so happy you made it, but what she told me made me a little stressed out, and it just made me remember that I forgot to ask you guys a question. What did you guys do for self-care during grad school?
Yeah, one thing was I tried to work out. If not like in the gym, like at least get outside and move my body, like get some fresh air. Yeah, didn't do a lot of reading because did already too much reading. But just taking time away from like work, like just pausing and having time with the people that brought me joy was another form of self-care for me. Yes, and travel, music festivals.
A lot of trips.
Yes.
Grad school years were the best.
So I'm saying with people that bring me joy, like it's those experience, like planned stuff. Like just because you're in graduate school doesn't mean you can't do anything. Like there's a way to still live a very joyful and abundant life, even on a budget. So don't stop doing that. But that's some of the things I do.
Yeah, I would say A&T probably taught me this, but I am going to study and do what I'm supposed to do. I'm going to put in the work, but I don't like staying up till like 4 o'clock in the morning. So like, I'm going to get my sleep. I'm going to study to a point where I ain't got it. You know, we're going to pray about it. And that's going to be it, but I'm going to get my rest. So that's for sure one. Again, I also worked out as well because I grew up just as an athlete. So that was something that I enjoyed keeping up. And then, again, spending time with friends. I think after I had my daughter, I did get caught up in the just taking care of her. So I did lose sight of self-care for a little, probably like over a year. And then it was actually my mother-in-law's, she had got a promotion at her job where she was like the first Black to work for the Secretary of State, and she was the first Black person in her position. And we had a party for her to celebrate that, and we had like a really close relationship. But I realized like I hadn't even spent time with her like in a long time. And that party like made me realize like all the time that had passed without me just doing something outside of being a mom, taking care of the house, being a wife. Like, so I signed up for Talkspace because I am better at writing than speaking when expressing myself. So that was the platform that, you know, got me into really looking at what's going on with everything, make sure I'm checking in with myself. So therapy, probably should have started that in grad school, but that's another recommendation.
Go to therapy.
Yes.
I agree.
If your grad school years were a book, what would the title be? If they were a song, what would the title of the song be?
So a book and a song title?
Or a song. A book or a song? A poem?
Well, I had one immediately, but I don't know. Y'all curse on your podcast?
We can leave it out.
Mine would be, look at this shit.
Keep going to break my soul, but that makes it seem like it wasn't like that bad, but it was just like sometimes it did feel like pretty like dark places sometimes. So just knowing that, like that that song captures overcoming that, and you know,
breaking free,
finding like, you know, yeah, exactly. So
she's a Beyonce stan, so she's gonna tie it back.
I mean, that's really all the songs I know off the top of my head.
Yeah, so own song title.
Oh, see, I'm not that creative. So.
Well, thank you both so much for coming to talk to us. It was so enlightening just to hear your experiences, to hear ourselves echoed in some of the things you're saying, but also the advice that you're giving, which are things that, you know, we definitely take heed of, but we hope that even listeners will consider when thinking about starting grad school.
Thanks for having us. It was fun.
Yes.
Thank you.
Hey you. Yes you. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell button, and the like button. You can find us on Twitter and Instagram. We are @_color of success. Bye bye now.